Good morning, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Read Me Live. I am your host, Sharifah Hardie, and we have an incredible show for you today. It is the show where we first find out about our guests, and then we do a reading live on air to find out what's in the cards for today's guest. And today's guest is Tatiana Dominguez. She is the founder of Spark Hive. Good
Mhm.
morning, Tatiana. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Are you nervous?
I'm I'm so nervous. I didn't do my 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 yellow leather, red leather to my voice today.
Don't worry about it. You don't even need any of that. That's why I talk. We start a conversation. We find out about you. We find out about Spark Hive. So by the time we get to the reading, we'll be old friends.
Okay, good.
I'm excited. I'm good. I love the energy of a Friday.
Oh, me too. It's one of the best days. I
Yes.
take yeah, I take my son to play Donald's as he calls it on Fridays as a treat.
Play Donald's. I love it.
I know it's so cute. It's a like the do you remember those McDonald's that had playgrounds inside?
We still have a few here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he loves it. I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
that's
sure.
good. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's the little things. So if you're
Mhm.
just now tuning into the show, definitely want you to go ahead and share the show and let your friends know that we are live. I am going to be reading from the Arcanum Tarot deck. I tell people when I
Mm.
saw this deck, I fell in love with it because this is the Lover's card that's on the front, and there's nothing more beautiful than two people staring into each other's eyes. You can see everything and definitely see the love. So that's what called to me. And so while we're sitting here chatting, catching up, finding out what's going on in your life, I'll just go ahead and shuffle the cards. Shuffling the cards breaks the energy from the last reading. It also is my sign to spirit that I'm getting ready to read. And it just makes sure I'm connecting to your energy, but I'm connecting, you're talking. What's going on with Spark Hive? What exactly is Spark Hive?
I'm just starting to build it, and so I'm really connecting with friends and family. Um, what I'm saying to people is, that little spark, like you just feel like, oh, I want to do this thing.
Mhm,
You just don't know how to start. You don't know where. It's just like I have this dream, but can I really do that? And I'm
mhm,
saying, yes, let's do it. What do you want to do? Let's figure it out. What I'm really good at is trying to figure out how to make things happen. And that's
mhm,
what I want to do. I had a little announcement party with my family a couple weeks ago,
mhm,
and my uncle's brother, so
mhm,
my uncle from marriage, he was like, I've had this idea for like 25 years
mhm,
and I've never really thought that I could do it, but I think maybe
mhm.
I want to talk to you about it. So that's what I'm excited about, especially with people that I know, like I want to make sure people can live their dreams,
Mhm. I
whatever
love
their
that.
passion is. Yeah.
But that just shows that you have a beautiful spirit. And you're correct. There's definitely a wide open market for that because so often people have a dream, but they always ask this same silly question. This is as a business consultant, this is what I find. They always ask, who am I? Who am I to live my dream? Who am I
Mhm.
to start a business? Who am I to do the one thing that I was inspired to do? And I always tell people that God would give you a desire of the heart without a way to make it possible. So, what they usually don't have is exactly what you provide, and that's the way to make it possible. So, when you say you just started, how recently is just started?
I just got my LLC in January and I haven't really announced it to the world yet. People at my job know
Okay,
and my family knows. So I just told them a couple of weeks ago of like, well, this is what I'm doing.
okay,
So I'm starting to, similar to this, like
mhm,
just explore my voice more and having it out more,
okay,
so that I can show the thought leader that I am. So for so long, it's just been like behind the scenes. And right now, I want to show that the behind the scenes is important
okay,
so that you can get there. Right.
okay,
Like I'm starting to call it before the build,
okay,
like I'm just going to help you before the build.
okay,
So I've been doing so much work in AI lately, uh,
okay.
for years now, and with AI, there's so many possibilities. I feel like,
Mhm,
I like for myself, for example.
Hmm.
If you had like, I mean, a picture of something in your mind, and then it's hard to describe that
Okay.
picture to someone.
Hmm.
I have a logo pictured, something pop in my mind of an image, and
Okay.
I try to have a graphic designer make it for me, and I'm
Okay.
like, I know that I know what it looks like,
Hmm.
but I cannot describe it. And playing around with the AI, I got the image exactly the I could not I love it so much. I could not believe that that came out of artificial intelligence. It really felt like it was drawing something out in me because I could
Hmm.
continue to iterate more than more than you would with a person because
Hmm.
you feel bad like am I asking too much of this person? Like no, in the AI it's just kind of like I'm going to keep typing until I get it right. Um
I know exactly what you're talking about because um, I've trained my AI to help me, right? And one of the things that my AI does when it isn't correct, it will say, "I apologize, I didn't do that correctly. You know, next time I'll get it right." And I always think to myself, if this was an actual human, they would have quit a long time ago because I'm very particular. I'm very precise. I want it a certain way. So I'm like, if that's not correct, do it again. Do it again, do it again, do it again. But that's an upside for people who are just learning to work with AI. It is artificial intelligence, but it really only works with the information you give it. And so often I've seen people who just accept what the AI returns as fact. I tweak my AI, you know, because I do all of my content writing, I do all of my press releases, I do the show descriptions with AI. And if it doesn't understand exactly what I'm saying, no, we're gonna work on it, we're gonna massage it until we get it right. So I love that you said that.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's the same as with your work with people.
Hmm.
When you're managing or leading a team, you have to make sure they understand the whole context of what you're doing. And it's the
Hmm.
same thing with AI. The only advantage that you have with AI is that you could be a little off in your description, and you
Hmm.
know that because the result is wrong,
Hmm.
and you can kind of do it again.
Hmm.
And the AI is not going to hold it against you necessarily. But a person might be like, "This is what you told me to do," and it's
Right,
just like, right, where was I unclear? I mean, you have
right.
to process that with yourself, but with the AI, you can practice a little bit more, like delegating and all that stuff.
So it's October. You've been in business since January, which
Yeah.
is a relatively nice amount of time. So again, I'm a business consultant. I launched my first business back in the 90s. I raised millions of dollars for companies. So I love to talk to people and to
Mhm.
help, not just with readings. So what I want to ask, and you're not AI, so don't get offended with me, is if someone has an idea, what do you do to help them bring their business to life? So that means, are you the type of company that helps them get funding? Are you the type of company that helps them with the web development? Because what I find and what I always like to remind new business owners of is who is your target market, and for each target market, that target market is looking for a specific thing. Coca-Cola, their target market is teenagers. Everybody drinks Coke, but their
Yeah.
message is specifically targeted towards teenagers. Just like McDonald's, they going after the little kid who's going to drag mom, even though we've all had McDonald's.
He doesn't even like the chicken.
He just wants to run around and play.
Yes, and eat the french fries.
Okay, so how do you bring the business to life?
It's it's in that moment before.
Hmm.
It's like you have that idea and you really don't know how to move forward, right? So
Okay.
like you're really busy and you have this new idea, and you're getting bottlenecked in I'm a systems person and I'm operations person. I spent
Okay.
20 years doing admin systems and operations for youth development organizations. I started working doing
Hmm.
paper timesheets
Hmm.
to, now everything's digital. I mean, long time ago,
Hmm.
meaning it turned digital a long time ago, but building those systems and trying to make work easier so that it clears a bottleneck, right? So my approach to technology,
Hmm.
a system, anything, is that it should improve your conversations, right?
Hmm.
So that you have the information at your fingertips, that you don't have to start to dig down into like, oh, I'm working for the system, not that the system is working for me. I would love to see that, like, if you're having, if you're spending hours trying to figure out, oh, my receipt system, my expenses, no, let's talk about that. What do you need to do, right? 'Cause sometimes the out of the box solution isn't the answer, or it is with a modification. Right? Like, so maybe, for example, I created a shortcut on my phone to send the link to my family and friends to come and watch this.
They're
I
watching.
sent it,
Do we get a shout out? Hey, to family and friends. Who's here?
hi!
Who's
I
here?
don't, I can't see.
I can't see
Anybody.
either. That's why. But who'd you invite? I guess is my
Oh,
question.
I put, there's at least 25 people I put on the thing, so I don't know. I can't see them. Oh, there's a
Nate.
comment.
Is it Nate or Nat?
Oh,
Okay.
Natalie. Hey.
Nat says hey. So hey, Nat.
I lost my train of thought, but
Okay, there's B. While you're thinking, I'm gonna say hi
oh,
to
wow.
the people. B Angel.
Hi, Berna.
Berna
Hi,
is
Jasmine.
here. Jasmine.
Those are my two
is
cousins,
here.
Jasmine. Oh,
And
so
that's
fun.
your
Hi, guys.
cousin. Welcome, cousin.
I think my mom is watching too because I set up the TV downstairs for her, but she doesn't know how to type.
She probably Edwin, whoever
Edwin,
in the
hi.
room. I love it. Carla says hello.
Carla.
Baby.
Oh. Danielle Damara. Oh, wow, from Hawaii. That's so much fun.
Asking you shall receive. We wanted to know who was in the room, and everybody's like, I'm here. Anna's here.
Oh, it's okay. So this is a good example. I remember now what I was going to say.
Okay.
Because this is Natalie's father. He was having issues with his accounting expenses, his invoicing. So he just didn't know how much money he was making every month. And I was like, all right, let me take a look. And so I just created an Excel for him where he can just kind of dump his stuff in and he knows it. And this was like 13, 14 years ago, and he still uses it. And I'm like, I am so much better at Excel. And he's like, don't touch it. It's perfect. I know exactly how it works. I just keep rejigging it. So that's a good example of like, let me just dig in there. Like, so one of the things I think everyone should learn is human design thinking. So it's a human-centered approach to designing anything. So like, it's from IDEO is a company that does this. Anyway, so you put yourself in the position of the person, and then you can say, oh, okay, I can see what the pain point is. I can see what this is. And so I try to like think about those things and devise systems that can kind of help that out. Oh, and so more people. Anna's here, and Christine and Dina. Hi.
And Andina, that's so beautiful. The reason I was trying to get you to give me that information is because so often in business, and I'm not just saying necessarily you, but we want to help everybody. We want to solve every problem, right? So sometimes if we can fine tune the specific problem and be very clear with our 5-minute elevator or 2-minute elevator pitch, it makes us easier for us to get new customers. So they're still coming, Marcos.
Hi, Tania.
She said she had to figure out how to comment. Okay, well, go ahead and share. Since we're all in the house, we want to give Tatiana all the live. So make sure that you share it. But
I can.
Danny, everybody.
Danny, like, yeah. Danny and Marcos. Thank you, Danny, for sharing it with Marcos.
Yes. So what that tells me, first of all, is that you have an incredible support crew, and that's beautiful. And that's definitely what you need in your life. Right. So what it sounds like to me is, because I'm like the business whisperer, like that's my gift. I can take off a lot of trial and errors. My motto was always do not face the unknown alone. Ask Sharifah. Right. So in coming up with the how, you're able to problem solve for them. Just like the gentleman didn't know how to figure out how much money he was making, you created a solution for his problem. You have your uncle who wants to go into the business. He doesn't necessarily know how. So if you're able to give somebody the how, because so many people have wonderful idea, but they are afraid of going into business. I remember when I first started out, even in marketing, people would come to me and they would say, Sharifah, I don't know what to do. I want to install Yahoo Instant Messenger on my computer. And I would be like, Okay, click next, click next, click next. You did it. It's installed, right? It's so simple, but even today, so many people have a fear of technology. So when you're there, you're able to hold their hand and help them with the solution. That's what they need, and that's what they will pay for. So I think it's beautiful what you're doing. I would love to see it grow and also to be a part of that growth.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's funny because my cousin Berna and I were talking about this idea yesterday of something. I think when something comes easy to you, you don't find, or I'm sorry, I'm going to speak for myself.
Okay.
Don't find the value in it
Hmm.
because you think it's easy for me. So,
Right.
like, it doesn't really mean anything. But it's easy for you for a reason,
Right.
like that there is still worth in that. And you still should value the things that come easy to you because you might need help
With something else.
with something else. And that's another thing that in the past I wouldn't have included my family and friends maybe on this. I wouldn't have told them. I don't want to say kept it a secret, but I would have said like, oh, nobody really cares about this.
Right.
Um and so I wouldn't have sent it out.
Right.
But I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I sent it to a bunch of, like I don't know how many people. I just went through my phone. I created the shortcut, and I was like, all these people are gonna get it. And for me, what it's gonna create, I hate a group text message, and I didn't want
Hmm.
to send it as a group message.
Hmm.
It's gonna create for me this individual connection that I've kind of offloaded this thing. And then I had individual conversations with people that texted me back to say, oh, I'm going to be there. What is this? Tell me
Right.
about it. Because that's what like, it is what I wanted. I want to have that individual connection. And I'm sometimes struggling with like putting that out with everyone
Hmm.
as opposed to, I'm so good one-on-one, but like
Hmm.
in a large group, I'm like, I, I don't know what to say.
But you know what? I'm resonating with what you're saying, and I want. That's why I'm like, this is. I'm gonna follow Spark Hive because I want to see your growth, right?
Thank you.
Because I was there 20 years ago, and I love what Jennifer Rodriguez had to say. It's your gift to share, right?
Hmm.
Because my mother told me 20 years ago. I'm a third generation reader. My mother taught me how to read the cards, and 20 years ago, my mother was like, you can do readings because we went to all these little fairs and stuff. And I was like, I'm not doing readings. Like, that's not what I want to do. 20 years later, fast forward, that's all I want to do. But there was two reasons that I didn't want to do readings. Number one, there was a side of me because in
Hmm.
this industry, people always try to make it that it's so secretive. There's a veil of secrecy, and they want you to believe that only they can do it. That you have to go to them in order to get the information. That you have to go to them to get the knowledge. I don't want the. I want to lift the veil of secrecy and demystify even the cards. Right. I spent years studying the cards, but if someone studies, they can read cards the same
Yeah.
way. The
People
other
can read playing cards.
My grandmother did. My grandmother
Yeah, yeah.
didn't use tarot cards. She used playing cards. My grandmother could read you if you walked in the room, no cards in her hand. But there was a other aspect of it for me, kind of what you were talking about is I was like, well, anybody can turn over a card. Like, why am I going to sit here all day and be like, here's a card, Tatiana, that's just for you. I didn't respect it enough, and I had to grow to be able to have that respect. So I love your energy, and I love the fact that you truly get that somebody may have an idea. They may be divinely inspired with this idea. They may have the passion for something that they want to do, but they don't know how. And a lot of times, especially now, we live in the age of information. You could Google it, you could ask ChatGPT, you can figure it out. But
Mhm.
usually that's why I really love the spark. I love the spark idea. Like if they have the spark, you can bring that spark to life. You can make that flame grow because they need somebody to say, this is how you do it. You said you just got your LLC. I've spoken to and worked with business owners who have been in business for 30, 40, 50 years, and they don't even have a bank account. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what
Well, I'm
are
not okay. I
you
can't. I should enroll my. See, that's the thing because it comes easy to you, or it's like it's an easy thought, right? Like,
doing?
I went to there's a an organization here that helps small businesses set everything up. And so, yeah, no, I have all these things. That's not
Right.
really what I need help with. She's like, wow, no one comes with all this stuff. And I'm like, the system, yeah, setting up I know what to, yeah, I have, of course, I got the bank account on the 3rd day of January.
Right.
Like
Right.
I knew that's what I needed to do. I had the
Right.
paperwork. I could do that. So yeah, so like that comes easy to me. That's the other things
Mhm.
like this is like, or the publicizing, right? Like this isn't
Mhm. Mhm.
hard because, but
Mhm.
um reaching out to you was right. Like I was
Mhm.
inspired by your, yeah, I was like, I've been getting those um
Tarot.
requests, yeah,
Mhm.
those requests for years.
Mhm.
And it was the first time I saw something that was just so uniquely different. And I was
Mhm.
just like, this is totally up my vibe. Like, this is, I, I need to absolutely do this. But like, oh my God, like, I don't, am I going to fill this out? I even, asked ChatGPT of like, I don't know.
Mhm.
And then I kind of just went back and forth with ChatGPT and explained my history with tarot and all those things. I have a question for you, and I wonder
Okay.
if it resonates
Okay.
because something that you said earlier. One of the things that I in the work that I've done in setting up my brand is the hill that I'm going to die on is that the
Mhm.
idea is already in the room and we have not asked the right question. And
Mhm.
so that is my relationship with tarot, and how I use it is more like I want to get clarity. I want to like I want to sit in this picture
Mhm.
and think about what that means in terms of the question that I asked.
Mhm.
And because I believe that the answer is there, right? Like, I know, like, when someone's like, I don't really know how to describe this. I don't know. I'm like, the answer is there. We just not have not asked the right question. I have not asked you the right question to get it out.
Mhm.
Um, anyways, that's my relationship with Tara. And I just wonder if you have the same, like, you feel like it's there.
Mhm. I'm trying to get to the question, but I'm just going
Oh,
to.
if I guess the question is like, if you think um do you think people come with the answer themselves, and when you read, that's what you pick up on is like the cards are showing you because they're in your symbol, they're in your iconography,
Mhm.
your visual speak, you know what I mean? Like, because they're your cards, they're your energy, so they're speaking to you to give them the answer that's already that they have. That's okay. That's how I think of tarot, so I was wondering if you did too.
No, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it because see, this is my. I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna also give you a
Yeah.
recommendation right after I talk to Christopher. Christopher says finally figured out how to comment. I'm here. Hands yellow, heart red. So he's definitely sending you love. Thank you for everyone who's joined. Thank you for everyone who has shared the show. So let me tell you something, Tatiana. Everybody who's listening, y'all close your ears because this is directly for Tatiana. I always say the reason I wanted to do the show is so that we all learned. So I'm just, we all learned. So I'm just teasing. The way I look at tarot is this: it's a story, right?
Hmm.
It's a story. And that's why I really want to see your growth because I can tell you this beyond a shadow of a doubt, right? If you hear nothing else, not one card, not one message, if you talk about a gift, you have it. You have
Hmm.
it, right? But it's the question in your mind of, okay, do I have it? What is it that I have? And then you kind of think
Hmm.
about it and then you try to verbalize it in a way to paint this picture for this person, right? That will come with time, right? That's the only thing I can tell you. It will come with time. It will also come with confidence because the more confidence you have in what you see, the greater your ability you will have in delivering the message that you see. Like I said, my mom told me 20 years ago to go read the cards, and I was 20 something years old. I'm not telling somebody what they need to do with their life. Who am I to
Hmm.
tell them what they need to do in their life? I'm 49, I'll be 50 in March. So now I try to give them as much wisdom as I can. But it's all a story. Hey, Preston, it's all a story, right? So tarot is a language. Just like, I mean, you probably may have heard many different language, but they all start with letters, that make up words, that make up sentences, that make up paragraphs, that make up stories. And so you have to understand the entire language in order to understand the story. So when anyone selects a deck, the most important thing is to find a deck that resonates with you. And people are like, well, what does that mean? Find a story that you can relate to, something that you understand the story. You understand what's going on in this story, right? So sometimes when I receive messages, I'll hear a song. I'll see a clip of a movie, like, oh, I remember what happened in this movie. And people like my readings because I'm just fun. I'm a good storyteller. I make you come and be a part of the story, but it's all a story. So even if I didn't have the cards, but I got a vision, I tell people, most people relate to the story of Little Red Riding Hood. You don't have to be a tarot reader. We know Little Red Riding Hood, right? How does the story begin? The story begins with her walking down the path. What happens in the middle? The wolf tries to eat her by pretending to be grandma. What happens at the end? The woodsman comes in and he saves her from the wolf, right?
Yeah.
That's basically the story, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm willing to be wrong.
Yeah.
I tell people that's why I do readings. It's not about me. It's not about ego. It's about me trying to help other people learn and understand. And so if that's the story, if spirit shows me the wolf in the bed, that tells me she's still frightened. She hasn't been saved yet. She's still experiencing the worst part of this story. If I see her going down the Little Red Riding Hood beginning on this journey, and she just skipping. She all happy. She like, I'm going down the woods. All of that. I'm like, this girl don't even know what's ahead of her. She don't know what's coming. Poor baby. You know what I mean? But it's really about being in the moment, in the story, and saying what you see, what you feel, what you hear, what you receive, and just being okay to say that. And to me, that's clarity. Being able to give somebody clarity, because I see the same gift in Spark Hive, because you can see the vision because you've done it for so long. What you've done with processes and procedures, that's a gift. It's an experience that you have that other people don't have. And like you said, because it came so easy to you, because you've done it, you can probably do it in your sleep. But the worst businesses that I've seen are businesses that do not have processes and procedures. People have this belief that, oh yeah, I'm running around putting out fires. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I'm putting out fires. I'm putting out fires. And I tell them all the time, you should not have fires every day. Like, not every day. If you run around spending all your time putting out fires, that is not a good thing. You should have an occasional fire. You should have an occasional emergency. But if you have processes and procedures and you know your business, then you won't run into all these issues. So the fact that you can help people create processes and procedures, it's a gift. I would just work on fine tuning the way you let people know what you do, because it is easier for them to resonate to what you do if they can get more clarity on the services that you provide. The clearer you are, the clearer your customers will be, right? Everyone says facts, no fire every day. That's right. Facts. We preach and fight. So did that answer your question as far as tarot? The information is there, right?
Yeah.
I'm just telling the story as I see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some more shuffling. I'm tuning into Tatiana's energy, and we want to know what's in the cards for Tatiana, what she needs to learn. And we're going to tell her a story about a little girl named Tatiana was creating a business, and then no, I'm just kidding. Your main issue out of everything that you have is the Queen of Wands. It's kind of hard to see. It's the Queen of Wands, but that's your issue. The main theme in your life is the Queen of Wands, which is a beautiful sign and it's a beautiful omen. So every reading that I pray over, I always ask Spirit to speak to me in signs and symbols that I understand. And I always recommend that the people I'm doing the reading for take notes and they write down the cards, because my symbol for something else, I probably should have said that earlier, huh? She's like, you didn't tell me.
I want to do it in the.
No, it's fine. You could always rewatch it. But the reason I always, because in a lot of readers, they won't show you the card. They'll just tell you, I see this and I see that. No, this is about me showing you what my sign is. And then you maybe it, you know, you read cards, maybe the Queen of Wands means something different to you. The show I did this morning, the lady was like, yeah, and I read cards and I read cards. I was like, cool, we're gonna do a do it yourself reading. I'm gonna give you my message, your message, so we can learn together. So the Queen of, I'm an Aries, the Queen of Wands is the Aries card, it's the Aries archetype. It's about action, right? But one of the beautiful aspects of the Queen is that the Queen is not trying to figure it out. She's the Queen. She's been there. She's done that. She's in her castle. She's not worried. Wands are about career. Wands are about action, right? So this is beautiful for me. I mean, even if you look at the card, I hate that you can't really see it,
I
but
know.
she's just there chilling with her little cat. Like, she's not running around. Her you know what I mean? Her energy is not somebody who's all over the place. She's not scattered. So as the Queen of Wands, she can help people with her careers. That spark. She has that spark. So again, I want you, you know, and I'm doing a reading mainly because your family is here and I'm trying to really, really be of service. I tell people I can't tell you what to do, what not to do. But what I'm saying is, when you embody the Queen of Wands, when you step into that Queen of Wands, because the Queen says what she has to say. This is the process you need. This is the procedure that you need. She doesn't doubt what she knows. Okay. Does that make
Yes,
sense?
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It does, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I love the Queen of Wands. I mean, to start out with a queen is
Beautiful.
beautiful. I mean,
Yes.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it just to go back right to the story, it's like almost the completion of the set, you know.
Right.
And then to be more, I think that, just as a side, like to be okay in that feminine energy, and um, that's okay to come across.
Mhm.
Uh, Not feminine is the wrong word, but sometimes there's a softness around it, or people don't take it as seriously. So it's like, no, maybe this is the time of the feminine.
Yes, it's not only the time of the feminine, but the reason it's really the Aries archetype is that we're born leaders. We're that person who comes in, we set the tone,
Yes.
we set the pace. But again, like you're saying, it's okay. You don't have to. You're not. She's not any less beautiful. She's not any less intelligent just because she's a leader. Right. So it's okay for you to lead. It's okay for you to take Spark Hive and become successful for it with it, because people are watching you. Blanca says that is Tatiana all day, the energy of
Mhm.
the Queen of Wands. Right. So as you shine, everybody else, like, you're like, let me help my uncle, let me help this person. So as you elevate, then everybody else has the ability to elevate around you. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
Queen is your main issue. The next card, which is your challenge, over
Mhm.
it is the Two of Swords, right? And I can see the Two of Swords, which is a minor arcana card. Arcana means change, right? So you have major arcana cards, you have minor arcana cards, you have major life lessons, you have minor life lessons. Major life lessons are things that change the course of history, right? These are your births, these are your deaths, these are your marriages, these are your divorces. Minor changes are things that affect you today, right?
Mhm.
This could be somebody handing you a rose as you walk down the street. This is you spilling coffee on your shirt. It's a horrible thing, but it is not going, you 20 years from now, 5 years from now, you're not going to remember that day, right? So the Two of Swords being a minor arcana card is about minor choices, which is again confirmation for me, be in conjunction with the Queen of Wands, is you can become the Queen of Wands, but you have to choose, you have to decide, you have to become that person in order for you to be everything that you're meant to be. It's just a small decision, it's just a small choice. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got excited because today I won a phone at a bin sale. So I anyway, it doesn't matter. It was $10. Today is $10 day at the bin store, and I got a cell phone for
I love
$10.
it. We don't have those here, but we need one here because I just love to win stuff. But I can tell you this, one of the things that I noticed is on days that I win, I tend to win a lot. You know what I mean? It's the energy of the day. And so I have this
Mhm.
thing that if I go out the house and I see a lot of accidents, I hear a lot of sirens and things like that, I get a lot of red lights. I'm like, it's time to go home. But if I go out and there are green lights, I find a lot of pennies on the ground, I'm winning. I'm like, yeah, I love the energy of today. Let's go out, because I'll tend to continue to win on that day. So become the Queen of Wands. Make the decision in your mind that that's who you are, because the next card that I have for you is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is one of the most beautiful cards in the deck, because that's the one whenever I hear celebrate good times. The Four of Wands is about celebration, celebrating your hard work, celebrating your success, sitting with family and friends. These are your wedding receptions. These are those moments in time where, for that at least moment, all is well, everything is good, people come together. So again, even with business, this is a celebration of where you are in your life, because the next card that you have is the Seven of Pentacles. The white in these cards glows so much, but it's the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is my card of assessment. Taking a look at where you are, choosing what serves your highest good, deciding what doesn't serve your highest good, and then allowing you to make decisions. This is my clean house card, like organize, put things together, figure out what you want to do, place everything around, but you can't move forward until you assess where you are or where you want to go. This is what assessment is. Okay. So the next,
that makes sense too. Yeah, that's something to think about.
I'm about to ask you for a grant. You're a winner. The next card that you have is the Nine of Pentacles.
Interesting. I can't really see it, but
the end.
no, there's a glare on your
There she is.
But it looks beautiful. I love the dress.
Yeah, Nine of Pentacles, beautiful, beautiful blue dress. So you got the Four of Wands, you got the Seven of Pentacles, but you just got the Nine of Pentacles. I love the Nine of Pentacles because what the Nine of Pentacles says is that you have enough, right? So the only difference between the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles is that in the Ten of Pentacles, you have more than enough. The Ten of Pentacles is like my legacy card. So the Nine of Pentacles, you have enough money, you have enough resources, you have enough. This is about success. This is about being a successful individual. Even in this card, like I'll do love readings and get the Nine of Pentacles, and people are like, where's my husband? Okay, well, he could be at work. We don't know where he is because this is not about him. Right? It doesn't mean that she's lonely. She's not worried. She's in the garden. She's already done the assessment. She's already done the hard work. She's just sitting there enjoying life, enjoying her garden. That's where I really see you at, celebrating, enjoying what you have.
I love to garden. I said I love to garden too. Can you tell me the name of the deck so maybe I can find the pictures while you're talking?
Arcana.
Arcana.
Arcana Tarot. I love it because they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. I just love it. So the Nine of Pentacles is about success, having success. And the next card that you have is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords, right? So the Five of Swords comes up whenever there are challenges, right? Fives are always challenges. Fives are on a scale. I always remind people that the Minor Arcana is like a survey. Like when you go to a company and they send you that survey, and it's like on a scale of 0 to 10, how do you rate our customer service? 10 being excellent, 1 being you need to do some work, get some better employees. So 5 is the halfway mark. It's always that mark when you have that point in time when you have to give it that final push, give it that final go. So swords is about thought. It's about intellect, right? And so often what happens is when we're inspired, we want to do something. We want to go. We want to build. We may find that there are petty arguments. So the Five of Swords is always about petty arguments. It's always about disagreements. Now, these are not things that are going to change the course of history, right? And I always tell people, it always reminds me of when I started out. I built my first website back in the 90s, way before most people didn't even have a computer in their home, right? So, and I just had my children. All I wanted to do, my whole dream in life was to be a stay-at-home mother. That's all I wanted to do. Right. So I knew that if I built this website, I could make money and I could be at home with my children. But
Oh,
back then, people said, if you work from home, you're lazy. You have to go out and you have to get a job. And now in 2025, millions of people work from home, and millions of people make that one of the conditions of their employment. They say, I only do remote work, because back then in the day, printers were huge. We had huge fax machines. We had, huge copiers. Computers were huge. We didn't even have laptops. So it was logical that you had to go to work, right? So the people who loved me the most, they wanted the best for me. So they like, you have to get a job, right? So they was like, you're lazy, because I didn't want to leave the house. So sometimes the people who really truly want the best for you, they may decide that what's best for you is different from what you want to do. This can be people who be like, you be crazy to quit your day job. You be crazy to work for yourself. And it doesn't always have to be about crazy, but it's about people and having those conversations with other people that may not be necessarily what you want. And they truly may have your best interests at heart. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course it does. I think just to what you're saying, it's like, oh, you got to get a job, like a government job, because those are safe
Yes.
and they're tenured, or not to
Yes.
like you're gonna get a pension,
Yes.
um, and I was always like, it just doesn't feel right to me.
Right.
No.
See,
But yeah,
and
the care.
yeah, but you go with your gut though. You like, it doesn't feel right. You tap
Mhm,
into what feels right for you. And then the government jobs is a perfect example, because what, the
mhm.
government's been shut down now for 2 days, and they're about to lay off thousands of government employees, right? So go with your gut, go with your feeling, as opposed to not necessarily what other people says is right for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, and that's after.
That's, I'm sorry, say it again.
I was gonna say, and that's after already all the layoffs, the whole
Yes.
year.
Yes, yes, they've been
Mhm,
laying the peoples off. So just trust your heart and trust what you
mhm,
know that's right for you. Because the next card that you have is the Justice card,
mm,
and in the Justice card, justice is blind, but justice is ultimately fair. Right. So for me, this is always a sign for somebody who's going through a transition point, trying to figure out what's right for them. Do what you feel is right. And at the end of the day, you will receive justice. You will receive karma. You reap what you sow. People don't believe that. That's a spiritual truth. That's an absolute. We reap what we sow. So you're a gardener. You plant good seeds, you're going to get good fruit. That's
mhm.
just the way life works. So justice is a major arcana card. It's a major life lesson for us to learn, because the next card that you have is the Ten of Swords.
Hmm.
There it is. I think kind of sort of. Ten of
Yeah,
Swords.
yeah, I can see that one. Yeah,
Yes.
right there is
So
perfect. Yeah.
yes, so the Ten of Swords, you got a lot. Well, one thing that stands out is you do have a lot of minor arcana cards. These are minor life changes. So that tells me there aren't a lot of shifts that are going to happen. These are just kind of thoughts and things. I think you're really already on your path. You know what you want to do. You already created it. You got your LLC, you got your bank account, you know what you want to do. You're really at a point of polishing it, right? So the Ten
Mhm,
of Swords for me is that card is always my card of overkill. And the reason it's about overkill is swords are ideas. Swords are thoughts. And so if you have someone who is killed by 10 swords, how many swords does it really take to kill someone? Like, she most likely was dead the first
mhm,
sword or the second sword. So then you put in a third sword. It's like beating a dead horse. So often I see this even with jobs and careers. And that was true for me, because I was laid off 8 times. And I tell people, God told me, he said, Sharifah, I want you to help people. And I was like, God, have you met people? Have you seen these people that you speak of? And God was like, Sharifah, help people. And I was like, I'm going to go get a job. 6 months to the day, I was laid off. And then God said, help people.
mhm,
I got a job. 6 months to the day, I was laid off. God said, help people. I said, I'm going to get a job. You see where I'm going here? At
mhm,
some point, it's like overkill of, at some point, every head will bow and every knee shall bend to the glory of God. Whatever is your call to do, whatever you're meant to do, sometimes we fight the one thing that we are supposed to do. And we know we're supposed to do it. But that thing may be outside of our comfort zone. that thing, like you said, the most difficult aspect was coming on here, taking that
Mhm.
leap to promote ourselves, right? And so often, especially as a business consultant, one thing that I see is people believe and they assume that just because they love something or they have a passion for something, that they know how to do that thing. Just for example, if someone loves to ride motorcycles, okay, beautiful, you can do wheelies and all that. But just because you love to ride motorcycles, does that mean you know how to operate a motorcycle business? No, you have to focus on the business of it. Hollywood, actors, it's a business, right? So I always recommend that anytime someone starts a business, if they take business classes, accounting classes, if they focus on the business aspect, they will be more successful. So the 10 of swords is about completion, but tens also goes down to one, which is new beginnings. One plus zero is one. So it's new
Mhm.
beginnings, right? But you cannot move forward. You cannot have a new beginning until you're willing to let go of the past. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It's interesting. What you said made me think of just this week we had a in office day,
Mhm,
and Christine, who is here, was saying that she's an actress, a former actress, and she said the people that ended up being successful from her life
mhm,
didn't try to be everything to everyone. They
mhm,
knew what they were good at and they went for that.
mhm,
Her and Blanca, that's what they were talking this week about,
mhm,
focusing on your strengths.
mhm,
Um, because that's where you're gonna grow. And so,
mhm,
like, if you're too focused on trying to fix these other things, or like back to your point about who you're trying to talk to, like your ideal customer, right? The
mhm,
more focused you can be, the more um, accurate, or you
mhm.
like know who that person is, you're gonna be more successful instead of trying to do everything for everyone.
Yes, but also know what you do. You
Right,
know,
right, right, right. That's what yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because when you clear on who you are, because again, you're the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands
Mhm.
knows who she is. There isn't any doubt in her mind, and she's not trying to be everything to everybody. Matter of fact, it reminds me of when I ran for city council. It was so funny because I was talking about the different conversations and different things, and so my team was there, and they were like, Sharifah, how are you going to talk with people and you don't even like talking with people? And I said, I don't like talking with people, but I love talking to people. Like there's a
Mhm.
big difference. Like I came to deliver a message. I'm here to give the message, and I'm clear. And what I see and what I feel right now, especially for you, I can see the wheels turning. And what I feel
Yeah.
is that there's, again, with the assessment, like organization that's about to happen after this show, where you're like, okay, let me focus on this, let me focus on that, let me build this, let me change this, let me move this, let me say this, go to Chat
Oh,
GPT.
you see, I have my little I started my little studio, or my
Yes.
what is
No,
what
it's
is
a
it called?
studio. I love it.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, this is great lighting. I,
Yes.
anyway,
No, I
we
love
say
it.
we're studio.
Everybody hasn't
It's
had
me.
such great
I
lighting.
have to fix it. Sorry,
I
everybody. I just see it going back, and I'm like, girl, I didn't glue it down today.
you know what?
Sorry.
But no, but it's a beauty in you. There's an innocence in you, and there's a gift of
Oh,
just, this is who I am. And I
I
love
mean,
that, because so often, people are like, they put on, a fake face. And you are very refreshing.
thank you. You know, it's funny. There's this. I love TikTok. I'm on this section of TikTok. They're talking about hi, lady. Um, baddies versus
Mhm,
cuties, and I was just like, I have never. I think I'm very cute,
mhm,
but a baddie, it's too much energy. I'm a cutie.
mhm,
I'm cute,
mhm,
but I'm
mhm.
also gonna be dirty, probably.
But it's an acceptance when you can truly
Mhm.
just accept who you are. And you talk about videos, the videos that I really truly enjoy and that I resonated was those videos where it was the baby mamas, and you forget that she was bad. Like it's the woman who's like, she comes
Oh,
out and she has the
the
bonnet
rollers.
on and
Yeah.
all
Oh,
this
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love those because that's how I am. I used to think I always had to be dressed up, and now I'm like, oh, I can if I want to. Don't get it
Oh,
twisted.
yeah, please. You don't want me to be a baddie. You don't.
Yeah, exactly. So I
I don't
love
either. It's
those.
so much work. Ugh.
What is shaking goes?
The wigs. You just
Oh, is that what she?
you can, yeah. That's what she's talking about. That you can kind of just, or a half wig. That's what I think. A half wig, because then you can kind of put like the front end, because it's the front that I have the problem with the most. But anyway.
You never know what we're going to talk about on Read Me Live. It just comes. Now we're talking about
Uh,
shaking goes. No, that's funny. That is so cute, but just love it.
mhm.
I love it. The next card that you have is the Four of Pentacles.
Mm.
The Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is my miser card. It's about holding on too tight. And I see that with resources. And I also see that in any type of interaction, including love. It's so often we hold on too tight to these ideas or these thoughts of the way we think it's going to be. But especially with finances, we hold on too tight to money because there's some fear that we're not going to have enough. Right. So
Mhm.
the person in the Four of Pentacles is holding on to the four little pentacles that he has, and he doesn't let them go. Right. And money is currency. It's a current. It has to flow. And so unless the money is flowing, then basically what you're symbolizing, or you're telling spirit, the universe, God, whatever you decide to call them, is that you don't trust spirit to provide. Right. So this is saying don't hold on too tight. If you have to spend a little bit of seed money to increase your business, because the Four of Pentacles, the miser, is always my go shopping card. I love it. I'm
Mhm.
like,
Oh,
I
don't
get
tell
to go
me that.
shopping. It says go shopping. Yes. But I say, look, don't go tell the people Sharifah said go buy the new car.
No,
That
no, no,
is
no, no. It's
not
not
what
what it was.
Sharifah said. It's symbolic about letting go. If you go, get that lunch, go to the Dollar Tree, whatever, it's symbolic of letting the universe know that you can spend and that you trust that all your needs are met and all is well. I love that also for business owners, because that's also,
Mhm.
as business owners, we go, okay, well, you know what, I would really like to do this for my business, or really like to do that for business. Every business needs advertising and marketing, and there are ways that you can advertise and market without spending a lot of money. But please don't be in that mindset of I got to do everything for free, or I got to do everything myself. Some people find, especially as they get to different levels, that the best investment they have is help, good help.
Mhm.
You were going to say
Well,
something.
yeah, no, it's the truth. It's even in the systems, like people that I've worked with or met with, they're
Mhm.
like working it out, trying to work it out with the free version of whatever. And I'm like,
Right,
oh my gosh, just invest in the thing. It'll be just a little bit better. It can
right,
it can connect to more. Please invest
right,
in something, a tool of some sort.
right.
It's worth it if you want to grow.
Thank you. That I might have to
Hmm.
clip that out and just take that as an endorsement, because that's completely the energy of the Four of Pentacles. My example is always Chat GPT, right? I pay $20 a month for Chat GPT. I could not be able to work with the free version, but I would never be able to do anything that I do with my press releases, with my business, with my guest descriptions. It writes all of it for me. So this $20 investment has blessed me tenfold in so many different ways. And time is money. So the time you use trying to use the free version, you could have just done something else.
Yeah. And now I'm again, Christine, convincing people to get it for the business. So like the
Mhm.
business account, regardless of how big your team is, because then there's so many shared resources. Like
Mhm.
you can create things your custom
Mhm.
voice. Let's say you want someone to
Mhm.
respond to social media things for you. You create your voice.
Right,
How would I respond to this? And
right.
then you can set that up and share it with someone that you want. They can just start typing up the little things and leave it there for you to approve later, but that you didn't
Yes,
even have to do that. You didn't have to put it
yes,
into your chat GPT.
yes. Um, with my emails. It
Yeah.
answers all of my emails, and it waits for me to approve it. But sometimes I have to talk to it. I'm like, oh, that's good, Sharifah. That sounds good what you said. Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. Because I'm like, it goes out, or people write back and they comment the same thing in the
Mhm.
conversations we have, but I didn't write it. AI
Well, and
wrote
that's
it.
it. And just to go back, right? It's like the technology should be helping you have better communications, because
Yes.
if what it's doing is just saying like it's just recapping, it's this, it's that, um, it's okay. I think people get scared that it's gonna do something catastrophic to their
Hmm.
business, and it's kind of like you that's when you put safeguards in, and that's when you
Hmm.
put like there can always be a human involved, and there should always be a human involved. It
Hmm.
can't be accountable. What are you
Hmm.
going to do? Yeah,
Right.
stop
I
paying it
love
$20 and then the next month you're just going to buy it again? I mean, like, let's be realistic.
I love it. Now I did a 10 card spread for you. I've already
Yay.
done 9 cards. So we started with the issue. The main theme of your life is the Queen of Wands. Everything else is just a part of the story and part of the journey. So the 10th card is always the final outcome. It means at the end of the day, Sharifah, sum this up into what Tatiana needs to know. What is at the end of the day the final outcome? And that's the Chariot.
Oh.
That is the Chariot. And I absolutely love the Chariot for you because, first of all, the Chariot is a major arcana card. So that's a major life lesson and that's a major shift. And so, back in the times of wars, when they had chariots, the Chariot had one job, and that job was to clear the battlefield, right? Because sometimes you get at a stalemate and that there are things that are just in the way. So the Chariot is sent out to make the army move forward. And so this tells me it's my symbol that whatever you're doing, especially with Spark Hive, it's going to move forward and it's going to move forward quickly. But the Chariot's rider always have complete control. This is about control. The horses are not running willy-nilly. They're not afraid. He's not afraid. This is about having control of this opportunity. So what I see in your reading overall is that, first of all, this is a period of assessment for you. This is a period of you making a decision and deciding who you really are and what you really want to do, of finding clarity in some of the things that you have and not holding on too tight, to release and be sure who you are, not necessarily taking the opinions of other people. And so you're able to move forward because this is good times. It's a time of celebration, a time of having a new business. But I think the most important thing really is to embody the Queen of Wands. Out of everything, just truly embody the Queen of Wands, to know that's who you are, right? And I don't say this from an ego perspective because so often people put their own ego on you. But there's an expression that says that the queen or the king doesn't worry themselves with the thoughts of the villagers, right? And it doesn't mean that the villagers aren't important. What it means is that everyone has their role. And the beauty of a villager is that the villager only thinks about his hut. The queen's job is to think about
Hmm.
everyone under her whole reign. And so if you're compassionate and you have a heart and you think about everyone, you will make the best decisions for everyone. And people will say, oh, I want you to do this, or I want you to do that, or maybe you should do this. You have to weigh who you are and what you know in order to make the best decisions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yes.
Does
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that reading resonate with you?
It does. Yes, it does a
Okay.
lot. And it's funny. I was trying to think of like, what's my favorite card? And I was like, oh, I love to see the world in a deck, but the
Mhm.
Chariot is a good one too. That's a nice, it's a nice card to have,
The
and especially
world.
at the end.
Yes, at the end, especially ended with the major arcana card, moving
Hmm.
forward, a major shift. But the world is a wonderful card. The
Hmm.
world, for me personally, is not one of those cards where I'm like, oh my God, I love to see it. It's one of those that I'm like, oh my God, the world is here. Because see, life is cyclical. The
Hmm.
tarot is called the Fool's Journey. And the reason
Yes.
tarot is called the Fool's Journey is because there's an expression that God protects fools and infants. Fools and infants are only two people on earth who don't think they know everything. So tarot starts off with the Fool, or the Major Arcana starts off with the Fool, and it ends with the World. So if I see the World, that tells me I'm going right back to the Fool. That this part of my life is over, which
Yeah,
means
yeah.
I'm about to have a new beginning, right? But I do love completion. It's a wonderful sign that, hey, this is complete, this is over, this is done. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't think so. I try
Does
to.
anyone, we got the whole family here,
Oh
all the
yeah,
family
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
here. Does
Anybody got
anyone have
questions I
any
should ask?
questions about Tatiana's reading? We got Blanca, we got Carla, we got Ondina, we got B Angel, we got all the people. So we did a whole reading for Tatiana. I've never done this. This is just me moving with the spirit, because we all here and the family may be sitting here. They be like, what does this mean? What does that mean? Carla says it was amazing. She doesn't have a question, but it resonated with Carla. That's a wonderful thing. So Tatiana, we are coming down to the last few minutes of the show. And what I love to do at the end of absolutely every show is to allow my guests the opportunity to speak directly to the audience, to everyone who was watching this show live, as well as everyone who is watching it in the archives, and let them know what you want them to take from your reading. So you got a couple of final words.
I guess my final word is, if there's a question that's in your mind, or you're looking for an answer of something, you just haven't asked yourself the right question to get to that answer.
Where can they find you?
Oh, they can find me. Oh, you can go to sparkhive.com and go to the contact us page. I didn't think about that.
That's okay.
Sparkhive.com.
I love it. See, the little innocent girl came out you at the end. She's like, I didn't think about that.
I did it.
Every
I have a QR
opportunity,
code. No, so I
yeah,
don't.
gotta get one. If not, every opportunity is a marketing opportunity for you to tell about your business, who you are, and what you do. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. If you ask the right question, you'll get the right answer. I want to thank you, Tatiana, for being today's guest on Read Me Live. I want to thank you to all the friends and the family for chiming in, for tuning in, and everyone else who's watching this show. If you're watching this show, that means there was a message for you in this show. And if you want to be a guest and have your own personal reading, please visit my website at readmelive.com. Until next time, everyone have a safe and a blessed